Hey guys, welcome. It's me, Parker. In my last mini haul deck unboxing video, I had mentioned that there was a deck that I was waiting for that was on order, and it has arrived. So this deck, I'm gonna say, is definitely one of, if not the most unique decks that I've ordered or received for a couple of reasons. One main one, but before we get into opening the deck. So it's Lune de L'Univers Tarot. I'm sure I'm completely butchering that. I don't speak French. But a couple things. When I ordered this, it was like, it had a very long delivery window. Like, I was like, where is this coming from? Because the delivery window that they gave me was like 3 to 7 weeks or something like that, 3 to 6 weeks. It did end up taking 3 weeks, so it was on time, right on time for the earliest delivery, but that's still a really long time. So when I was prepping to record this today, I was like, okay, in the description on Amazon, yes, I ordered it on Amazon, they had said like handcrafted. There was almost no description for like artistry, the manufacturer, anything, and it was actually really, really hard to find any information about this deck. I just picked it based purely off the artwork. I was like, this is really gorgeous. I picked it for that reason, but I couldn't find hardly anything about this deck. The most I could find is that, yes, it's self-published. I think coming like based out of Turkey, which would explain why the delivery window is so crazy. And the closest thing I could find was the manufacturer's name is Sunfeed, or Sunfied, like Sunfied, I believe. That was the closest I could find. Everything else is more, again, just vague descriptions. Turns out this is an AI generated and created deck, so I had no idea when I ordered it. That's super unique. So right off the gate, I mean, we'll get into the cards. I'm gonna say I don't know if I would recommend this deck for a beginner because it's AI generated. So some of the meanings, unless you're super intuitive and you just want to base your style off of intuitive messages from the cards, then okay. But if you're looking to like learn tarot or anything like that, then this might not be the deck for you if you're not that experienced, just because it's an AI interpretation. So I don't think some of the pictures are going to be stereotypical of like a standard tarot meaning. So that being said, it comes in like a very plain glossy finish, just a normal standard box. You can see my ring right there. Super shiny. Okay, so when you open it, there is a book in here. Okay, because all my other decks that have come in a little flip box like this, none of them have had guidebooks. Ooh, this is very pretty so far. Smells like plastic. So there is a book, General Tarot Manual. Oh, this is interesting. We'll get into this in a second. Okay, and this was about, oh no, okay, for a second I thought that was another book. It's just a split in the cards. For what was I going to say? It was about $30 Canadian. I'm in Canada here. So introduction. So Stuart R. Kaplan. Okay, so we're talking a little bit about weight here. The original weight deck. So a background on the history of tarot. 2004, interesting. we're talking about the Greater Arcana, the Lesser Arcana. Pretty straightforward. Pretty straightforward. They have like a rundown of the deck's description of the card, and it's told in like almost like a storybook style, like a story style. And then it has divinatory meanings or the reversal meanings. And they do include a Celtic cross spread. Or Celtic, I don't that makes me sound ignorant, but yeah, they do have one that like most standard spread in here. Okay. So let's get into the card. The reason that I said it's weird is because where the manual sits, and this is gonna be an interesting deck to work with, I can tell. But where it's split, I was like, oh, maybe this is like the major. No. It's split the Three of Cups. But look at this deck. Like, this is very unique. So this is like an AI generated, right? That's a Three of Cups. So it split off right on the three. I was like, oh, are these out of order? And then it goes to the four. And the Five of Cups. There is one more chalice in the background. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So let's start off from the top. We're going to look at the cards one by one. I'm going to go very briefly. I might do an overview of this deck once I've worked with it a little more. I see that some of the cards did actually get bent in transit, but it's not too bad. It's actually just two cards got, like, this one got the brunt of it. The Fool there, the first card. And then this one's like slightly bent there. But yeah. Ooh, these are pretty. Okay, so we have the Fool. Nice. Fool. On the back, that's an interesting pattern. It's like, for me, it's serving Dragon Eye. That's what I'm like seeing when I'm looking at this. In terms of the finish, the front is slightly got glossier than the back, but they both have a very glossy finish to them. Super glossy. Yeah, so in terms of card quality, for $30, I mean, it's not bad. We'll see when I shuffle it. I will do a couple shuffles before we leave here. It's not too bad. It's a little cardboardy, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's just like a standard normal finish on a deck. A little bit more on the cardboard side. To me, it's a little bit very similar to the Heaven and Earth deck, which is one of my more beat up decks. So I'd imagine over time it probably is one of the decks that will kind of rip and tear a little bit more readily, but we'll see. The Magician. Very nice. I love this. The High Priestess. Empress. An Emperor. Very pretty. Hierophant. I am noticing that a lot of these cards, and I mean they are AI generated, a lot of them have their backs turned away in the major arcana. The Magician has their back turned. The Hierophant has their back turned. The High Priestess has their back turned. It's almost creepy. This deck is a little creepy, but I'm here for it. Like, creepy in like a cool way. Kind of creepy. And then the Emperor and Empress are like, bam, like dead on. Like the AI generated a face for that. A personal like phase. The Lovers. Chariot. And it does have like this kind of steampunkish, creepy vibe to it almost. Like I said, I'm very here for it. Strength. Nice. The Hermit. This reminds me of a music festival I go to sometimes. That's funny. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, it's like creepy steampunk carnival. Like dead carnival. Kind of. Justice. The Hangman. That is really cool. Death. I love that depiction of death. Temperance. Very nice. The Devil. I am also loving the play on like the wings and things on the darker cards. It's like the light and shadow of, like, Devil card is not always in shadow energy, neither is Death, right? That is a gorgeous tower. Creepy dead carnival, steampunk dreamland. The Star. The Moon. The Sun. And the World card. Oh, that's interesting. They are a little out of order. The World did not go last there. That Judgment card reminds me of a dream that I had one time. Interesting. I just want to look at something really quick. Yeah, they don't have the book in order with the way that the cards come. I'm interested to, yeah, no, they aren't. Okay, I'm not imagining it. The Ten of Swords was mixed in. I was like, am I imagining that they're kind of out of order? But no, they're a little bit out of order, which is kind of interesting. Like, maybe this deck has a mind of its own. Look how the 10 and Ace of Swords are next to each other, but they're very similar. This deck, I'm going to say, is going to be very subtle with its interpretations, because the 10 and the Swords, the 3 and 4, they're all different variations of a singular sword. That's very interesting to me. We better see, oh, that is the 2 of Swords. I read it as 10, okay. Sorry, don't mind me. But yeah, it is like different interpretations of a singular sword. So, sorry, don't mind my little one there. That's going to be fun to pull energy from in terms of interpreting that. It's like ever so slightly progressive. The 5 and 6, they're very similar. There's like a developing shroud over those swords there. 7 and 8 of Swords. This must have been so fun to create. Nice. The 9 and 10 of Swords. So I'm just going to pull up actually the Ace of Swords and we'll look at the progression. I was like, yeah, there's a skull on the Ace, right? Yeah. So it's progressed from the bottom to the top. That's interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. The Page and Knight. They are wearing like the same robe there, but this one's a little more ornate. I love how massive that sword is that the queen is wielding there. And then we have the king, which they used for the cover art on the box in the deck. And to me, that's just speaking about this 10 of Swords that we saw. Like lit up, like alive, like a person, right? Or mastery of that, integration. Wow, look at the smoke on that Ace of Cups there. That is just gorgeous. I love that. Very nice. So 3 to 4 cups progression of a single cup. Then we jump to 5 cups and then back to a single cup again. AI has incorporated the use of the lotus flower in the cup cycle. 7 and 8. I would be very, very curious to know if the artist of this deck fed the meanings of the cards to AI. Like, it's super interesting to me. Gorgeous 9 and 10 of Cups. Beautiful. Very creepy Page of Cups. Super creepy. But I like it. Queen and King. So on to Pentacles. Yeah, so all the suits are like that. Varying degrees of the 1 pentacle, the 1 sword, the 1 cup. I'm really excited to work with this deck. 5 and 6 of Pentacles. Seven and 8. Look at all that smoke coming off of there. Gorgeous. Yeah, and just like I figured, I was gonna point out that the other artwork on the other side seems to be the 10 of Pentacles. 9 and 10. We have the Page. I kind of love that the Queen, or the Cups, I'm still just thinking about how creepy those cards were, that the Cups court cards are so creepy. Like, it's like cups, right? I kind of love it. Knight and Page. Queen and King. Very worldly. Ooh, fire. Gems and smoke. Which is kind of funny. We'll see how much smoke is used in the wands. Because there was a fair bit in like the cups and the pentacles showing. Ace and Two of Wands. Three and Four. Oh, I feel like this image would set some people off. That's what that fear is with like the when people can't look at like spores or like tiny pores. What's it called? I'm not even gonna try and say it because I don't know it. That to me looks like a scribe, like a scroll or a pencil or something. In the 5 there. 7 and 8. They look connected, like progressive to me. That's really, really, really pretty. 9 of Wands. Page and Knight of Wands. And the Queen and King. Very bejeweled. Yeah, that's interesting to me that the Wands focus tends to be on gems, where it could have incorporated smoke like it did in some of the other cards, but the focus is more on gems. So I'm just going to shuffle it a few times. As typical, I need to work it in a little bit. It's not every time I open a deck that I can just shuffle it right away. If you look, all my decks have like this insane bend at the top from the way that I shuffle it. So I will have to, this side wanted to go. But yeah, that's pretty good. I like the shuffle. I like the grab of the cards. Pretty much right off the bat, it's good to use. I like it. I don't mind this finish at all. I like the way that it shuffles. The card stock feels similar to me as to my glossy finish Rider-Waite style, which has held up the best over time of any of my decks, like by far. It's almost perfect still. It has not ripped or torn over time. So as I get to know this deck, I may do an overview for it. We'll see, especially once I read like the book. It looks pretty standard to me. Like the meanings in there. I might just like see if a card falls out and then I'll read like one interpretation from the book and then I will end the reading. The Lovers. That Chariot keeps showing too. It stuck out to me a lot. I do really like the quality of the deck. It's nice. So yeah, the major arcana, surprisingly enough, has very brief, like, I guess it's overarching themes typically, but in the lesser, they go quite into detail on each of the cards compared to the major. And pretty standard: attraction, love, beauty, trials, overcome, successor, providence, war, triumph, presumption, vengeance, trouble, reversed meanings. But yeah, like I said, in the card by card in the lesser arcana, they do provide like more of like almost like a story being told. And then they go into the meanings, which is kind of interesting. Maybe that's because the artwork is so like with that progression of a single cup and very slight variations in artwork depicting a single cup or a single wand or a single sword. That's why they went a little more into detail. That's just kind of my guess with that. But yeah, I really like it. I do like how it shuffles. I like the quality. It's very gorgeous, super unique deck. Like I said, it's like creepy, dead steampunk carnival deck made by AI, which is hilarious. Like if you tell AI to make tarot, that it would like make it all creepy and cool like that. So I'm going to leave it at that, you guys. I cannot wait to work with this deck. Honestly, I don't feel that I need to read the book before I start working with these. I'll probably just, feed this into my current decks. And then read the book after, because it seems pretty straightforward. But maybe when I read this book, there might be some more information about how they generated this deck. I would be very interested to know. If that's the case, I probably will do an overview after time, how it stood up over time, and once I've gotten to know the deck a little bit more, but maybe I won't. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this and found it fun. I did. I really like this deck. It is already starting to bend the way I want to from shuffling it. So I have a feeling this deck is going to get pretty beat up over time, but we'll see. Alright guys, so until next time, take care.